Checkity check, checking. Hello. I have so many things that I would like to do. One of which is telling stories. That I am going to attempt to do quickly for you. The first rant I want to go on to, I wrote this down. By the way, best paper ever. Rhodia. Great for fountain pen ink. Here's some talking points for me. How I got started. Hands, throat, the month's project. So many good topics, but I can only talk about one. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to pick it right now. I'm not going to be working on any music today, only just ranting or talking. It's fall out, seriously beautiful, like no joke. Stop fooling around. It's gorgeous out there. This will probably come out in a month, I'm thinking, so it'll be not as gorgeous because right now it's just perfect. There's a lot of mist on the ground, fog, whatnot. Green leaves are still there, but there's orange, there's red. A lot of really cool layers. Anyways, today I'm going to share how I got started in music, and more specifically, how I got into the tract of recording music or track. I feel like in college, they always say, I'm on the music production, music tract, and not just track. Am I right in thinking that? That's a weird thing. But I always thought it was tracked or tracked. So, I'm not a big fan of telling it because it deals with years ago. And so it takes more effort for me to pull up those beautiful memories of my first meeting of a thing called a DAW, digital audio workstation. But I'm going to start back when I started choir in kindergarten, I believe, when I was 6. Because I started school a year late. I was a July baby, so I started later. Anyways, I was singing from age 6. Never thought about that, but that sounds right. And I wish I remembered when my first play was. I have this all written down somewhere. I did write it down. I'd love to go over that. That would be fun. I wonder where that file is. It's not on this computer. It's on my orange computer. Yeah. So, anyways, I got a notification. I'm so glad I can cut things out because I just who wants to hear that? Anyways, I started young, probably 6, singing. I started when I was 6 singing. I was not sick when I sang. I was just 6 and I started singing. And from there, I didn't care about singing. It probably took me a year or two till I was 7 or 8 when I was really I hate this. I want to stop right now. Or maybe that was at the very beginning. Maybe that was when I was 6, when my mom was like, you need to do a year of choir or something. And I was like, no, I do not want to do that. She was like, yes, you do want to do that. And I was like, no, I don't want to do that. She pulled out the paddle. Yes, you do want to do that. This isn't how it went. I'm just joking. So I didn't want to, but very, very quickly I made friends, had a lot of fun. And I stayed in choir all the way up through 18. That's when I graduated. I was late because... No, maybe I started when I was 5. Anyways, I know I did 7th grade twice. So I did 13 years worth of choir altogether. Very proud of that, especially at the time. And there were also other choirs. Anyways, there were little choirs that went off. It was called ACE. We did that too. That was a blast. A smaller group, 25 people? Oh, maybe 15 people. I'm really bad with numbers in this way, but that was so much fun. I loved it. I will always love that time. But I did musicals, plays, stuff like that too. And this brings us round to our topic of DAWs, how I found out about them. It was my senior year. I was 18 years old when I found out about digital audio workstations. And me and 2 of my friends, Joey and, oh dear, don't do this to me. I can remember names. Philip Jones. Joey Battle, Philip Jones. We decided, we were in a play. The previous year we did a musical, and this was my senior year, so I was lead roles. I had a lot of lines to memorize. It was fun, stressful. It was awesome. And So we were like deprived of music for this play that we were doing. We would switch them up every year. We'd do play musical, play musical, play musical. And so we wanted to like write a song for an intermission thing, like what is that called? Block out all of the stuff that we were going to do, all the stage, what is that? Stage marking, stage whatever, blocking. So we'd have like a dance or something that we'd like, you walk this way, I'll walk that way, and we'll sing the song that we do. So we're like, well, let's create a song. So we probably come up with this song in a couple days. The play was called Murder in a Nunnery, and the song was all about it. You can never tell about none. You can never tell what they'll do. Mother Peck and Reverend Mother too. You can never tell about none. So we came up with this song. I remember coming back and just working on writing it. It was very interesting because I didn't write songs, but for some reason, when it was silly and it didn't matter, like I was very inspired and I didn't hit roadblocks, which is what I do now. Not in the same way, but I just don't take writing seriously, and it helps so much with my writer's block or whatever that is. Like, I just don't take it seriously. Anyway, so I did that, and we all wrote it together, and we went to record it. No, we were gonna play it. We were gonna like go on stage, intermission, do this thing. Director was like, it's too late. That's too much for right now. And so we were like, well, crap. And also kind of like, well, that's kind of a relief because it's a lot of work to block it out. And then there's always a chance of messing up. We need to find a pianist to play. So, it was a lot. And so she said we could record it and play it over the speakers. So I was like, cool. I was like, well, how are we going to record this? And Philip Jones was like, oh, cool, we can just use GarageBand. I'm like, what's that? And this takes me down another little trail. For about 3 years now, probably, I had been looking for a way to multi-track on my phone, or on my iPod. I think I had iPod Touch 3rd generation. It didn't have the camera. And I was just searching, and I could not find a good way to multi-track. And by the way, multi-track is just when you record one piece, and then you record another piece right under it, so it's layered. And you can do that many times, multi-tracking. That's what I wanted to do. And I couldn't find anything. And I searched, I looked really hard for an app on my phone specifically to find, I just remembered those bings you will be hearing them. Sorry, I lost my train of thought. I was trying to find this thing on the phone, couldn't find it, gave up, was like, doesn't exist. Can't wait till it does though. Fast forward, this 3-year kind of me thinking about it's in the back of my head. I want to know how to multi-track. I want to know how to layer sounds because I can play piano and guitar and violin and stuff like that. So then Philip brings this GarageBand out that I've had on my Mac for 2 years at the time. I had a Mac for 2 years then. And I'm like, what is this? He's like, it's GarageBand. You can, I didn't know the word multi-track. You can record things over top of each other. And this way, when we play the song, we don't need to record in one go. We can snip it up, have more control, and we don't need to nail it in one take or do piano in one take. And that was it for me. I was like, this is what I've been looking for. And since 2016, when I was 18, I found out about digital audio workstations or GarageBand. And yeah, just fascinated. Very quickly, there were key commands that Philip was doing, I remember. And I went home and learned, I just watched videos on GarageBand, and I learned what he knew about it. And so, we were able to work together. However, I didn't know how to master, and mastering is when you just bring the volume up. It's much more complicated than that, but that's the general idea. And I'm learning much. I'm muchly learning how to master and getting better at it every day because I master my own stuff. It's a tragedy almost, but I'm learning. I'm learning how to do it. It was the funny thing to end this story. We recorded this song. It's hilarious. I still have it. We didn't know that something needed to be brought up to level. It needed to be brought up to the loudness, as loud as it could go, or else whatever is playing at the speakers you're playing it through, you can turn the speakers up all the way and it'll still be just medium. So we brought this track in that we had worked tirelessly on, and we brought it in for the halftime, whatever it's called. And we could barely hear it because at first we were the audio guy was like, is this like, is it playing? Like, and we're like, yeah, it's playing. Like, why can't we hear it? Like, what's wrong? And so he like cranked it up all the way he could, the volume, and we could just barely make it out over the speaking voices of the people. But yeah, I was lost from there on out for this GarageBand, and eventually I got Logic, which is like the step up, the paid version. GarageBand's free. You should use it. It's awesome. I got inspiration from movies. I started out making soundtracks. And if you want to hear stuff that I did in that time, you can go to SoundCloud, Drew Nigas, and maybe I'll put a link down below. I love going back and listening to them, but, I was learning, so they're not that great. But very fond of those songs. Very fond of all the off-tuning and timing that goes on there. Just really cringy, but very fond of them still. And it sobers me to think about them. Anyways, thank you for listening. That is my start out journey. That's how it began. And still learning a lot, honestly. A lot. Yeah. Anyways, there it is. That's how I started. And very blessed to have learned about it. Even though it seems like at a late age. I was 18, senior year. But yeah, from there I really just delve in and started learning a lot from then. Went to college for it. Went to Hack for music business. Wow, I keep on going with this journey. I'll just keep going. Went to Hack. I decided like this is something I really want to do. Always against college. Never liked college. Thought it was just a waste of your time and money. And I went. I got a 2-year degree in music business. I deeply loved some of the classes that I had, and more some of the teachers that I had in those classes that I loved. And I also hated some of the classes I had and merely liked the teachers. I never had any teachers that I really hated. Everyone was pretty nice there, reasonable. Especially Jay Kierson. Like, he taught me the basics of audio, and very grateful for the way that he taught. I have recordings to this day of that stuff, and I just of his lectures that he had. They were like 4 hours long, just these long lectures. I'd read the text. Those were some of the only classes I'd read the textbooks in. Could never say enough good things about how he started me out in learning audio. You can learn it any other way. You can learn it on YouTube. You can learn these things. There is something, if I were to do it again, and if I would advise someone to learn audio, I would say take an online course. I don't know how much they'll be, like maybe $50. Take an online course. Take 5 online courses. 5 times 50 is 500. Think, Drew. 250. $250. If you take 5 online courses about mixing music, production, you're going to learn so much. There were only a couple classes at Hack that I really learned about audio stuff, the stuff I really wanted to know. I hate saying this word. It's coming up a lot. But to this day, there are only 2 or 3 classes, maybe 4 classes that I took out of the 20-some classes I had altogether for that 2-year degree that I still feel like I got anything out of them. So anyways, and yeah, that I don't want to share anymore. That's good. Thank you for listening. And I'm contemplating whether I should be subscribe, because it's not hard to do it. It's literally 1 click. You just hit the subscribe button. And you can also hit the like button. You can hit that too. It's just, again, 1 click. Is it really that hard? I'm going to lean into this until you do it. So you should do it right now. Do you hear me? Do you understand what I'm talking about? Yeah. I've never even thought about any of those things. YouTubers say you should do them. Do it. Because it just reminds people, comment, subscribe. All the big YouTubers, just, they do that. You think you have such a big following. Why would you even say that? Anyways, I'm losing my energy and I want to get on to the next topic. But cool. Stick around. Maybe in a week or so, I'll put out another little rant or story kind of thing.